What do you think of the Ruger GP100 and 357 Magnum pros and cons? So I actually had a Ruger GP100 and 357 Magnum, and it wasn't bad. So here's the thing, and this is going to be subjective because this is my thoughts, opinions, and all that. Some things I like about Ruger, some things I don't. At the end of the day, they're decent action. The trigger's decent, although I personally have issues where the back of the trigger, when just how I pull a trigger, it kind of pinches my finger when I pull the trigger, and I have heard other people's have that issue as well. So I know I'm not the only one, but that was an issue for me. Now I could polish out the back of the trigger and probably smooth it out and file it down and get rid of the sharp edge, and it probably wouldn't be as big an issue. But that was just something for me that I did not personally like. Now, you could determine that just by picking one up at a gun shop and, doing some dry fire and seeing if your finger gets pinched, but that was something for me. Also, something I will say is taking them down for cleaning. Now, if you shoot a revolver a lot, at some point you're gonna have to take the cylinder out of the yoke and all that, and basically, give a good clean and then a light oil. With Colt, it's one screw. With Smith & Wesson, it's one screw. With Ruger, it is you undo the grip, put a little pin in the mainspring, pull out the trigger pack, pull apart the cylinder, then you got to disassemble it with pins and all this, and it's miserable. So that was something that definitely would knock the Ruger design for, is the fact that something that will eventually need to be cleaned is actually quite difficult to clean. So do I like the Ruger GP100? Oh, totally. Very awesome gun. But compared to, well, say a Smith & Wesson or a Colt, well, honestly, there's some downsides. But again, good gun, solid gun, accurate gun. It's all personal preference on what you like. But those are just some things that, for me, I kind of have as a detriment towards the Ruger designs.